Lewis Hamilton's sudden disqualification at the Chinese Grand Prix rattled the Formula One world. What looked like a routine rule breach has ballooned into a major controversy, raising deeper questions about Ferrari's approach and Hamilton's future with the iconic team. Fans expected a triumphant run, but the FIA's ruling stripped Hamilton of a sixth-place finish and sparked a wave of speculation about hidden flaws in Ferrari's 2025 Challenger. Was it all a minor technical oversight, or is the team grappling with a more serious issue that threatens its title hopes? The buzz around this penalty has extended well beyond the racing community. Rivals, commentators, and even casual viewers are dissecting every detail, from pre-season testing laps to the final scrutineering checks in Shanghai. Ferrari has faced compliance slip-ups before, but never in such a high-stakes context. Now, everyone wonders if Hamilton's dream of an 8th championship is in jeopardy, or whether Maranello can pull off a swift comeback and prove its doubters wrong. When the checkered flag dropped, Hamilton's 6th-place finish seemed secure. Alongside Charles Leclerc's 5th place, Ferrari appeared to have salvaged valuable points in a season where they desperately needed momentum. Only hours later, both Ferraris were disqualified. Leclerc's car for coming in under the minimum weight limit, and Hamilton's for excessive plank wear. Few could believe such rudimentary infractions had toppled a team of Ferrari's caliber. At first, the explanations were straightforward. The SF25's underfloor plank was worn below permissible thickness, while Leclerc's car lacked the required kilograms during post-race checks. Ferrari admitted the errors, leaving little room to contest the penalties. Yet almost immediately, suspicions surfaced that these failings were not just flukes, but products of a deeper problem plaguing the team's race weekend strategy. One emerging theory points to Ferrari's insufficient dry-running data from pre-season testing. Hamilton's car suffered mechanical issues in Bahrain, depriving engineers of a critical race simulation. According to insiders, that missing baseline forced Ferrari to make ride height decisions in Shanghai without fully understanding how the car behaved on long stints. Dropping the ride height too far, perhaps in pursuit of extra downforce, opened the door to illegal plank wear. Add to that the sprint victory Hamilton clinched earlier in the weekend, which might have camouflaged the impending problem. Sprints are short and demand different strategies, so the team had no chance to see how the plank would degrade under a full race load. The abrupt discovery of this oversight, combined with Leclerc's separate weight issue, has exposed a gap in Ferrari's testing methods that leaves them vulnerable to compliance pitfalls. As soon as the penalties were announced, the Paddock rumour mill kicked into high gear. Some suggest that Ferrari's internal divisions became more pronounced, with engineers debating the team's peaky aerodynamic design. The SF25 reportedly generates exceptional downforce, but only within a narrow ride height window. Step outside that range, and performance becomes chaotic, leading to the potential for major regulatory breaches. Others whisper about Ferrari's communication struggles during crunch time, claiming that warnings of overly aggressive setups were overlooked in the drive to seize a performance edge. Rival teams, meanwhile, are watching Ferrari's troubles closely. Many wonder if more stringent FIA inspections could target any car that appears to run extremely close to the ground. With Ferrari in the hot seat, the rest of the grid is keen to understand exactly how one of the sport's titans tripped up so badly. For Hamilton, this ordeal raises immediate concerns about trust and leadership within his new team. He spent much of his career with an ultra-reliable Mercedes outfit, and he joined Ferrari expecting an equally robust environment. Now, just as he's settling into life in red, a glaring mishap robs him of hard-earned points and sends a troubling signal. The prancing horse might be fast, but it's riding the edge of legality. Leclerc too faces a harsh reality check. Underweight infractions are rare, and the fact that his penalty was unrelated to Hamilton's plank wear underlines the extent of Ferrari's woes. If internal processes allowed two distinct compliance errors on the same weekend, there's a risk that blame and frustration could build. Both drivers need stability and a coherent strategy to challenge the likes of McLaren and Red Bull. Instead, they're trying to pick up the pieces after a humiliating double disqualification. While Ferrari scrambles, rival teams sense an opportunity. McLaren has been steadily closing the gap, relying on a more versatile aero package that handles diverse track conditions. Red Bull's proven adaptability and consistent reliability keep them at the sharp end. If Ferrari's car concept proves too sensitive for real-world dynamics, others will capitalize by improving their own margins of error. Meanwhile, the FIA might see this as a turning point. Plankwear rules were introduced long ago to combat extreme low-rake setups, but constant innovations push the envelope every season. Should the governing body tighten checks or expand pre-race tests, Ferrari's predicament could become a cautionary tale for all teams flirting with those microscopic boundaries. No one wants a championship defined by engineering snafus, but regulators also refuse to let advanced designs slide into illegal territory. Behind closed doors, Ferrari is likely mapping out major procedural changes. Step 1. Refine pre-season testing and simulation protocols to ensure no crucial data goes missing. Step 2. Address the SF25's narrow operating window by slightly modifying its suspension geometry or underfloor design, aiming for a broader legal range. And Step 3 was re-establish trust between drivers, engineers and team leadership. A car as quick as the SF25 can still mount a championship challenge, but only if it can finish races without crossing regulatory lines. Insiders suggest that Ferrari might also implement new checks during pit stops or final weigh-ins. This could prevent another fiasco, like Leclerc's underweight ruling. On top of that, an internal shake-up may see certain staff re-evaluating ride height strategies, especially for tracks known to punish low setups. A single disqualification might be forgiven, but 2 in one race signals deeper flaws that Ferrari must address to regain competitive momentum. Beyond the immediate penalties, this fiasco calls Ferrari's title hopes into question. Points lost in early races can be difficult to recover, especially when Red Bull and McLaren are poised to pounce on every slip. Hamilton's 7th title was already a monumental achievement. Securing an 8th in a new environment demands airtight organisation and unwavering confidence in the car. Repeated missteps could erode Hamilton's faith in the project. Leclerc's development also hinges on the team's ability to rectify these pitfalls. Having 2 strong drivers is an asset only if both are given consistent machinery and a strategy that avoids embarrassment. If internal tensions escalate, the pairing could devolve into friction at a time Ferrari most needs unity. Meanwhile, the broader F1 community keeps a watchful eye, anticipating whether Ferrari's storied brand will weather this latest storm and emerge stronger, or sink into chaos as the season grinds on. In racing, millimeters and micrograms can define an entire weekend, and Ferrari just learned that lesson the hard way. This debacle suggests more than a random slip-up. It points to structural vulnerabilities that could haunt Hamilton and Leclerc unless the team intervenes swiftly. The prancing horse's legacy burns brightly, but a legacy alone won't fix underlying data gaps, communication breakdowns, or an aero concept that teeters on the brink of legality. Will Ferrari transform this setback into a catalyst for improvement? Or will the pressures of 2025 overwhelm one of the sport's most storied organisations? Fans, rivals and the FIA are all waiting to see how Maranello responds. For Hamilton, everything rides on the team's capacity to deliver a fast yet fully compliant car. For Leclerc, it's a fight to restore confidence and keep his championship hopes alive. Only time will tell if Ferrari can refocus and prevent another shock disqualification. One thing is certain, in a season already brimming with drama, this saga is nowhere near its final act.